In order to make this artwork successful, we have to remind ourselves on a couple of principles and elements of art. The first one we will remind ourselves on is color. Color is the element of art that refers to reflected light. We see color because light waves are reflected from objects to your eyes. There are three properties of color. The first one is hue, which simply means the name we give to a color, red, yellow, etc. The second property is intensity, which refers to the vividness of the color. The third, it is value, meaning how light or dark it is. We also have saturation. The saturation of a color is measure of how pure or vivid a color is. In order to understand value, I will show you this scale. So on a scale from white to black, you can see at different levels of gray. Same thing applies to all other colors in a spectrum. Next thing that we will remind ourselves on is proportion. Proportion is a principle of art that refers to relative size. It's about relationship of the size of one element when compared with another. When we notice proportion, well, when things are out of proportion. So we have a bad and good proportion. Also, we have a proportion in a human body as well. Very general average proportions. It means that in one human body in a height, we have 7.5 heads height. Some artists intentionally go out of proportion or their paintings. Artists go out of proportion on their paintings in order to emphasize the message they try to give to the viewer. Next that we will remind ourselves on is contrast. Contrast employs the use of the opposite qualities to create visual tension, separate parts, and build hierarchy. Contrast, if used intelligently, can create fantastic artwork. Also, we have a contrast in colors as well. Do not forget that and take a good look on this high contrast color wheel. Next thing we will remind ourselves on is variety. Variety is a number of different types of things. So when we work on artwork, we should make sure there is many different messages and art shapes and colors on it. So that's the point. So now when we know these things, we're ready for the next step. And that's your imagination exercise.